Let's tell you about this story now. Gatwick Airport in London is up and running again. It's been shut since Wednesday evening after mysterious drones were spotted in its airspace. Let's get the latest from our UK correspondent, Olly Barratt. Olly, good morning to you. Our time, not sure what your time is. Talk to me about this dramatic step by authorities to shut down the airport. But more importantly, who are the culprits flying these?
Well, that's the crucial question to which we don't yet have an answer. This started unfolding Wednesday night local time at Gatwick Airport when there were a number of drone sightings started around the airfield at Gatwick Airport. That meant that flights had to be grounded. There was a brief period in the early hours of Thursday morning when the runway was reopened again, but then the drone sightings started again, and the runway had to be shut completely for the rest of Thursday, affecting tens of thousands of passengers who were trying to get away on their Christmas breaks and carry out other bits and pieces of travel as well. The army has been deployed to help the police try and find the perpetrator in this, what is a crime, we should be clear, but that hasn't yet taken place. We do not yet have the drones located or the drone operator or operators located. Nonetheless, as you say, Gatwick has taken the step in the last couple of hours to start reopening the airport and to start seeing flights landing and taking off again. Now, police won't tell us exactly what measures they have in place, but they do say they have mitigating measures in place now to combat, effectively, any further sightings of drones in and around the environs of Gatwick Airport, which is just to the southwest of London, the British capital. So flights are taking off, they are landing. Some passengers will be asking, how come it's now safe to fly if we still haven't found these drones and who's operating them? And B, if we do have these measures in place which can make flying safe again, why weren't they in place much sooner?
Exactly. And the solution there, Olly, to bring on board the army and the police, what is the proposal there? Is it to shoot down these drones?
That is one of the proposals, and authorities are making it very clear that that is one of the options they are considering. It's not simple, though, because, first of all, these drones are moving targets. They're not easy to shoot down, even if that is possible. Secondly, you have to remember that Gatwick Airport is in the middle of a pretty residential area, so it could well be that the drone could be flying close to the airfield at Gatwick Airport, but actually over and above someone else's property. If you shoot down what is a pretty significant device, a heavy device, over a residential area, you run the risk of harming the people below that drone. There's also the risk of stray bullets as well if the target is not hit when a shot is fired. So all of these factors have to be taken into consideration. Other measures, we're not being given much detail at the moment by the army in terms of why they've deployed and how they've been able to assist police. Not much detail from police either about how they're conducting their investigation, but they've been pretty clear, the police, from the start, that the priority, the ideal scenario here, is to locate the operator of these drones rather than to deal with the devices once they're up in the sky. That, of course, is not easy. This appears to be a very sophisticated drone. It could be being operated from some distance away.
Olly, just as a final question to you, this appears to be a growing threat to civil aviation, and the reason I say that is that there are reports that just last week a drone collided with a passenger jet in Mexico. Question is, how widespread is this issue of drones, and is there a way to stem it altogether before it gets out of control?
Well, look, we're heading into a Christmas period in which thousands and thousands of drones will be opened under Christmas trees by children and adults alike. Now, the drone in this particular case does appear to be pretty heavy duty. It's described as industrial by authorities. But nonetheless, drones are an increasing threat to aviation. Authorities have known that for some time, and there are measures in place to restrict the use of drones near to airports. In the UK, that's a restriction of around 1 kilometre around the area of an airport is not allowed to be used for flying drones. So what we're seeing here is actually the operator of this device is breaking the law already and may well face a prison sentence of up to 5 years once that person or people are located. But airlines, pilots, drone users alike are saying that the government has been too slow to react to what is a growing and developing scenario when drone usage is going through the roof, or up into the sky, we should say. But the authorities haven't moved quickly enough to think about the effects that might have on aviation, on other areas of life, and try and regulate that. Now, as I say, clearly in this instance, the perpetrator, the operators of these drones are already breaking the law. This is already a criminal act that is unfolding here. But yeah, what we've seen here is a huge disruption for tens and tens of thousands of people, and passengers, airlines alike are saying something has to be done now to make sure this can't happen again.
All right, Olly, thank you very much for that update. Olly Barratt, our UK correspondent, talking to us about this growing threat to civil aviation of unmanned aircraft in the form of drones. Well,